This is going to be tutorial 3 on our JavaScript programming tutorial, and today we are going to be talking about script placements. In tutorial 2, the previous tutorial, we actually covered the structure of a JavaScript program, or the structure of a JavaScript script, and how to add it to a HTML file. We also covered how to set up JavaScript in a browser and how to write your JavaScript code and actually view it in a browser. So today let's look at how you can place the JavaScript in your HTML page and even outside your HTML page. So again, I'm going to open Notepad++ because that is the IDE we are using. So this is Notepad++, so I'm going to actually, let me see if I can resize it so that it can fit the screen. Alright, this is fine, okay. So at this point, we have tutorial 1, we have tutorial 2, we've actually covered a lot. We've covered document.write, and today we are going to cover script placement, and I'm going to have to show you a little about imputes, our input type. Before I continue, I'd like to remind you to subscribe. Click on the subscribe button below this video to subscribe to my channel. In this way you get notified when I make new lessons, and also you kind of encourage me to make lessons. And if you have some challenges or something you want me to know or do, write it in the comment box below and I'm going to get back to you. So just click on the subscribe button if you've not already done so. So let's continue. So this is program 1, program 2, tutorial 1 and 2. So today we are going to be talking about script placement. Let's talk about the first one, placing the scripts in the head section. Now HTML page have the head section and the body section. In the head section you have the head and we have the title. So let me increase this. So as you can see, you have the head section, head/head, and also we have the body/body. So in this case, we can actually place the script in the head section. So what I'm saying in effect is I can move the script, cut it from here and place it just in the head section, and it's right there. And I'm going to save. And if I run this code, it's going to run perfectly. So let me open the containing folder of this program. So let's see, yeah. So if I open program 2, so you can see that, let's see, it's program 2. Let's see. Okay, so this is program 1 we're actually talking about. So let me open it, program 1. So you can see the alert displays, meaning that the script is actually running. But now we want a situation whereby we want a button click to trigger this script. We don't want the script to run automatically. We want the script to be triggered by a button click. So the explanation is given here. However, it is normally used when you want the script to be executed on some event. For instance, when a user clicks on a button. In this case, you put the code inside a function, then you call this function on button click. So what are we saying? Now, this is the script/script tag, and we have the JavaScript code right here. So what I'm going to do is to put this alert line of code inside a function, and it's simple. Just say function, and that's all. So just say function, and then you have opening braces, and then you have closing braces, and of course, just to indent it a little, yeah. So now you have function, you put this code, a line of code inside a function. Now if I save it and go ahead to open it again, you find out that it doesn't execute because it's now inside a function. So for it to execute, you have to call this function. To call a function, we like when a user clicks a button, then this function will be called. So now this is a complete code, but at this point I'm going to just copy, or let me type it out. In the body section, I'm going to put a button, and to add a button, you simply use imputes. If I say impute/imputes or imputes, so something like this is actually a tag for a button, but you need to now specify type is equal to button. Yeah. So if you say type is equal to a button, it's going to display a button on the screen. So I've saved it and I'm going to open it again to see. So now the web page displays, and you can see this little button right here that nothing happens. Now I'm going to give a value to this button. So a value is like what displays on as a caption of the button. So say value is equal to, let's just say click me. All right. So if I save it and then I go back to check, you can see that it displays click me, right? So that is the value of the button, is what displays on this button. Now I'm going to leave this page open so that I'll be able to just refresh it instead of opening it every now and then. So let's go back here, and this time I'm going to allow this button click to run this function. So to do that, simply say onClick is equal to the name. Okay, now we need to give this function a name. I think that's a mistake I made. So function greeting. All right, so pardon me for that. So the name of the function is greeting. So just say onClick is equal to, let me reduce the size of this thing so that everything makes some sense. So greeting. All right, so when I say onClick is equal to greeting, and of course you use open and close brackets and save everything. When the user clicks on this button, it's going to run the greeting function, the function with the same name. So let's go ahead to do that. So I'm going to show this page, I'm going to refresh, and I'm going to click, and now it displays the alert when I click the button. Again, it displays the alert, but this time when I clicked on the button. So that is how to combine button click with a JavaScript function placed in the head. Alright, now let me just show you one more thing about imputes, but maybe we'll talk about it later, but let me just show you. Now if I have, let me write it out, impute, and I say type equals test. So in this case, I say value equal to, okay, let's not enter any value. So this one is a text box. So imputes are actually components that are, or controls that are placed in a form. Text box, buttons, scroll bar, drop down list box, text and combo box, and so on. So these controls are called they are called impute, but they have different types. So now I'm going to go back to this page, and okay, since I've closed it, I'm going to run it again. Now you can see it displays a text box right there because I say impute type is equal to text. Have that in mind, but we are going to cover this more elaborately. We have covered it more extensively in another lesson. Let's now see placing the script in the body section. Actually, I'm not going to spend time here because we actually have done this. I'm simply going to copy the line of the code and then create a new file, new, Ctrl V to paste, and I'm simply going to save it as, and remember you save as HTML, so look for HTML here, and this is hypertext markup language, and I'm going to save it as proc3, and I'm going to save. Alright, so this time I'm having 2 lines of code, right? So I've saved everything and I'm going to try to run this. This time I'm putting document.write inside this the script/script tag, 2 lines of document.write, and I'm also placing some text right there outside the script tag. So this is my code in the body section, and this is just a text written out there. So I'm going to come to program tree and I'm going to open it, and now let's see. Okay, so we have welcome to JavaScript. This is the second line. We have this text appears in the body of the page. So this, we don't have any business because this is not part of the script. But these 2, they are displayed by the document.write, a function that we call. So let's take a look again. You can see document.write displayed 2 times. But now everything is joined together, meaning that there is no new line. So if I want to add a new line, I can actually use an escape sequence if I can figure out where the controls is. So okay, so now I can't get a backslash on my keyboard. So we'll talk about escape sequence in a different time. That's the new line character. We're going to talk about this in a different tutorial. So we've talked about placing the script in the head, placing it in the body. This time we are talking about placing it both in the head and in the body section. I'm going to just copy this to save time. I'm going to copy this. So in this case, we have a script split in between the head and the body. I'm going to also overwrite in program 3 because this is tutorial 3. So let's see how it goes. So I'm going to just make some space here. So I have the head section, head/head. I'll have our function that says greeting, welcome to JavaScript. Now I have input. Let me reduce this. So we have input here and have on click greeting, meaning that when you click this button, it's going to call this function greeting, and the value is say hello. The value is what is displayed on the button. Now I'm going to change it to click me. Alright, so in this case we have the script tag in both the body and the head. So if I save it now, and this is also tutorial program 3, and I'm going to run it. So it says welcome to JavaScript, and also says click me, and everything works perfectly fine. Now the fourth one, placing the script in an external file, that is quite interesting. And in this case we have this JavaScript placed in an external file. So for instance, I'm going to take this script and create a file, this time not a HTML file but a pure JavaScript file, and I'm going to place this code inside, right? And I'm going to save it as this time choose JavaScript, not HTML this time, so choose JavaScript here, and I'm going to save it as my file .js. Okay, again save it in the same directory, and now I'm going to just create another HTML file, and this file will simply import the script we've created. So this time I'm creating a new HTML file. So this is this HTML file. Let me save it so that it can give us the syntax coloration that helps us understand our code better. So I'm going to call it prog31. Okay, fine. Alright, so now we have, this is the body and this is the head. Remember, there is nothing in between the script/script tag. So we have the script, and in between we have nothing in there. Okay, but now we have src is equal to my file.js, meaning that more like what is inside this my file.js is what actually should have been inside the script/script tag, but we move it out from there into the my file.js. Why this may be necessary is maybe sometimes when you have a very large script and you need to apply the script to different web pages. So if you apply it to 100 web pages and somehow you want to modify the script, you need to now go to 100 web pages one by one to open it and modify the script. But in this case, we just have to write the script in one single file saved somewhere. So if you need to change it, you simply go to that one single file and make this change, and the change actually ripples down to all the pages that have the script. So we have this page and we have src is equal to my file.js, meaning that the content of the script actually is the same to be the content of the script/script tag. I'm going to save it and I'm going to run it, and now it's going to run this code. So let's see. If I go to the folder we are working with, so you can see this is the body. Okay, let's see. This is the body of program 3.1. Okay, so program 3.1. So src is equal to my file.js, and this is my file.js. So it should actually run this. Okay, so let's see. So src is equal to my file.js. It should run the script. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open this. I'm going to open it with another browser. Let's say open with Firefox. So okay, let's see. So I have a problem. So what is happening here? We have my file.js. I think everything should be okay. Placed inside the same directory. Let's check the procedure. Okay, so there's a JavaScript. Okay, yeah. So basically, now what is happening here, I'm going to explain to you. So this script is actually placed in the head section. So, and is also a function, meaning that it will only run when it is called. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out this. So let it just be just a lot. It's not a function this time. And this time I'm going to go back here and I'm going to open this file. And you can see that it runs the script because I removed it from the function. If I have wanted it to run in the function, I'll have used maybe a button click to trigger this function. Alright, so that is how to include an external file. So take a look at it. So this is how to include it. Just say src and you specify the file that you want to include. So this is about placing JavaScript in the HTML file, even in an external file as well. So this is where we end this tutorial. So in the next tutorial we continue. Maybe we now discuss different inputs, how to create a complete form to allow users to fill the form, enter some text, submit, and it goes to somewhere and you pull this data out. I'd like to thank you for viewing. Remember to subscribe by clicking on this red subscribe button, activate notification by clicking on this bell icon beside this subscribe button, like the video if it's been informative for you, and leave me a comment to tell me how you feel about this.